What's going on, guys? Kevin Fielder from Underdog Dynasty here. I'm joined by Houston defensive end, edge rusher, DeAnthony Jones. DeAnthony, man, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Blessed. Can't complain. How you doing?
I'm doing well myself. It's almost draft season. I'm sure for you that's a little more stressful than it is for me, the reporter who sits at home and watches film all day. But we are still in the same boat of that. It sort of feels like it's coming ever so quickly. How has this whole draft process been for you?
Just going well, man. I have friends and former teammates, you know what I'm saying, that told me how to go about it, that they've been in this situation. David Anini, Logan Hall, Peyton Turner, all UHD linemen, and then even guys like Grant, Pepe, and Marcus Jones too. And then it's just, they've been telling me keep my head down and just work, you know what I'm saying? My family hasn't seen me in a while. Even my guy, Coach Early, called me yesterday. He says you've been like 0 dark 30. I'll be like, man, I'm trying to work, you know what I'm saying? But they just tell me, keep my head down, work. So that's what I've been doing, man, and just preparing for that pro day. You feel me?
That pro day for you is sort of, it feels like the biggest day of the entire process because that's where all the scouts can come in and weigh you and get your heights and get your measurements and get all those combine times. How excited are you for that moment, knowing that it could almost make or break the entire process for you?
It's just a surreal feeling, man. I've been chasing after this moment since I was about 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? And God just, I did everything He told me to do, and He was like, it was meant for Him to lead me to this moment right now. So you know what I'm saying? It's just really surreal for me, man. It's a blessing to be where I'm at today.
Now at Houston, you were sort of a part of the Sac Ave group of defensive linemen. What was the origin behind Sac Ave? Because I remember, I think it was kind of early in the season, there was that pizza NIL commercial that sort of drew me onto what Sac Ave was. But what is Sac Ave and when was that sort of created?
So my guy's probably gonna be mad at me, but I'm not trying to be that, but I call myself the CEO for Sac Ave for a reason. So our name prior to Sac Ave was Death Row. I was like, that's a thing already, you know what I'm saying? The fans aren't really, buying into it. And at my junior college in California, we called ourselves Sac Ave. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, our little fan base at junior college loved it. And we're not nearly as big as the University of Houston. They're literally a D1 college. And so I was like, listen to me, y'all. Like, I was like, look, man, Sac Ave. Like, going into that season, I knew what we had. We had a bunch of pass rushers who were very good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dude, this is a perfect fit. Then, the fans will eat it up. They'll love it. And I told Coach Earl, I was like, hey, big girl, like, this is perfect too. Start putting it out there, Sac Ave. Everybody talking like, I don't know. And then there was some speculation between Sac City and Sac Ave. And I was like, no, man, Sac Ave is only the block. It's just us. Not everyone is welcome over here. You know what I'm saying? And that was just it. But then, the name is it's exactly what it is. We're a bunch of guys who could get sacks, on the block. You know what I'm saying? Me, Derek, you know what I'm saying? David, Logan, PT, Bell, J Mike, everyone on this team gets sacks. You know what I'm saying? Like even down to our nose tackle, Chidozie Nwakwa. Like you look at him, he gets sacks too. So yeah.
You are in a very unique position kind of heading into the draft because you are sort of one of the bigger edge rushers or defensive ends. You were listed at 270. I don't know what you played at throughout the year, but you were sort of one of the bigger defensive linemen slash, defensive ends in the draft. How do you sort of embrace a role like that, knowing that you carved out a role in college as a pass rusher at such a big size, and sort of who were some of the players that you looked, for inspiration or take pass rush moves from to sort of help hone in your game and build upon what you have physically.
Yeah. So what a lot of people don't know is, coming out of junior college, Coach early recruited me when I was 255 pounds or 260. I was in between. COVID hit, gained some weight. First year, I think I was like 265. I'm saying? I only played in a couple games, had to get the blessing, I'm saying, with the free COVID year. Then my next year came when I exploded onto the scene as a pass rusher. I was 295 pounds on the edge. When people be like, oh, he's quick for a big guy, I don't think people realize I've always been a fast, twitchy guy. I just gained some weight. Obviously I am a bigger guy compared to the other defensive ends, but I don't really think it makes much of a difference in my eyes because you have these guys who are 250, 240, but I get off the ball faster. I get to quarterbacks back like faster. So doesn't really matter, and it helps me in the run game. That's something that I elevated, with in my game this year. So, that second year I was 295 and I'll smash guys. And I was like, you know what? I feel kind of sluggish, but I like the way because I can smack guys in their mouth, and I'm still me. I'm still a get off guy. I'm still a speed rush guy. Well, people don't know, my power is my secondary move. And coming to the season, my coach, he was like, DA, get to like 270, 260. You know what I'm saying? That would be perfect weight for you. So, got down to 265, always fluctuated between 265 and 270. And it was perfect for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see that play on there. That's a 265, 70-pound D lineman moving like that. I don't think a lot of guys at 250 can do what I do and then bring the oomph with it too. So, but man, it's just, that I feel like that's another reason why I feel like I'll be a great fit in most of these teams, because it's just I can line up anywhere and I have no restrictions. I can drop in coverage. I can beat up on tight ends, even tackles in the run. I'm short, but I have really good leverage. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I do just want to hop into the action because I'm as excited about this as I think more people are, because I remember watching you in 2021 and there was a play that I have on here later where I just went, I don't think 280-pound guys are supposed to move like he moves, because I've watched a ton of football. I've watched a ton of college and NFL football, and you see these 280-pound guys and they're playing in interior defensive line, and they're the run stuffers, they're the power rushers on third down, and you are, I think, the complete opposite of that, and that's what's sort of really unique about you. Are there any players that you sort of took inspiration from, knowing that you're a little bit bigger as an edge rusher, and sort of try to take bits and pieces of that to put into your game, or pass rush moves to put into your game?
Yeah, you actually, sorry, I forgot to answer that. So, guys, first off, what it started off with was Von Miller. That's what really embraced my edge role. I take a lot of my game from him with the getting off the rock, bending the edge, stuff like that. When I was 260, you know what I'm saying? I was really a speedy guy, but I still, the base of my game comes from Von Miller. You know what I'm saying? Watching him get off his key. If you beat the guy, you didn't want to have to battle. But then as I've gotten a little bit bigger in the 270 range, 265 range, I've been watching guys that's literally similar to me, like Melvin Ingram is a guy, but someone I've really watched a lot lately was Brandon Graham. I feel like, no disrespect to him, this is not a shot at anyone. Don't know if he'll ever see it. I feel like I'm slightly not slightly, but way more athletic Brandon Graham. You know what I'm saying? He's a real big power rusher guy. I can do power, but I'm speed as well too. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's people look at the weight and think, oh, power rusher. Don't get me wrong, I will sit people. I've done it. But, my first thing is always speed. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what guys, get caught off guard. Because, after every game or during every game, it's, damn, he moved fast. I didn't know you could move like that. Well, stop my weight, MFer. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, really Brandon Graham. And then guy that I watch, I love the Eagles because they have two dudes who are literally similar to me in height, and I play like both of them, Brandon Graham and Hassan Reddick. Because I can go speed rush your ASS. I don't know if I could curse.
You know what? We'll allow it.
I can speed rush your ASS, you know what I'm saying? Like Hassan Reddick. I could get off just like him, bend the edge like him. And then I could switch it up and go play like Brandon Graham and power you. And then what a lot of people don't know, I didn't really do too much of it. But I could line up in the 3-1-on-1. I'll whoop a guard's feet. You know what I'm saying? They don't move like tackles, and tackles can't even keep up with me. So putting me one-on-one with a guard, I think that'll be great too. So yeah.
I do want to get started. Let's get into this. And, I feel like it's sort of odd that we were talking so much about your pass rush, and we're going to start off with a play in the run game. But I feel like there's no better place to start, because this was one of my favorite plays from this year of yours. And, you had already mentioned, I think you sort of start to remember the play, and I guess we'll just let's watch it through real quick, and then we'll sort of break it down a little bit. You're at the top of the screen here, and I mean, you just blew up the wide receiver. And the first thing is, did you sort of know that play was coming? Because it seemed like you had just had the playbook in your hands, and it was like, you know what, they're running the jet sweep to my side, and it's not going to go anywhere.
Absolutely. That I really thank Coach Brian Early for it. You know what I'm saying? He broke down things for me that I didn't really know in junior college. And then over my 3 years, I've caught, I see certain formations and I know exactly what's coming. You can only do three things. It's A, B, or C. They might have a one-time hitter with D, but they're not going to do that because, they don't know what we're coming out in. And so, with this, we were actually going through it throughout the week. Coach Early, this is another really good blessing for me. I'm a stand-up guy. He usually has guys who put their hand down. But with me, he let me stand up, and I told him, I move better if I'm up. If it's a tight end, I'll just squat, you know what I'm saying? And I can move out of it. All week, we was going through that play. They was like, listen, if they get in this pistol formation with the tight end right there, he was like, DeAnthony, they're going to avoid you. They've seen on film from last year that they can't beat you on the inside. They're going to leave you unblocked. And I was like, well, that's a dumb decision. He was like, I'm not going to do it because they know how quick you are, but apparently not. So, as soon as the formation came, like you can see me looking in the backfield, I knew exactly what was coming. I was like, my thing, I didn't know if he was going to avoid me or try and come down on me. But either way it go, I feel like I would have hit it. Even if he was on my back, I would have cracked him. So yeah, man, obviously he left me. Once he left me, I said, here comes the sweep. Got him. So yeah, that's really how that went.
You have sort of been the pass rush guy. You've got, I think, 15 sacks throughout your career at Houston, or close to it in like 25 games. I mean, that is sort of insane production for, a guy playing at such a high level in the AAC. But, how did you sort of evolve your run game mindset and, your run defense from junior college and high school onto to Houston and now, heading into the NFL?
So, in junior college, what a lot of people don't know as well, I played off the ball linebacker. You know what I'm saying? So my run, I was coming down, hitting guys, you know what I'm saying? And I would go to DN on third down for pass rush. So, it's just a difference of me playing the run from defensive end and off the ball. So, and it's great. That's another reason I went to University of Houston, because Coach Early was one of the only guys who wanted me to play defensive end. And so, just like I said, that year that I got to 7 sacks and led the AAC when Logan and DP and all of us were the first year of Sac Ave, I just looked at everyone around me. I said, yeah, we're all pass rushers. Everybody's great in the run except for me. You know what I'm saying? I thought to myself, how am I this big dude? How can I get on the field more? Coach Early liked me. I beat up on guys, but DA beat up on a guy and make the tackle. You know what I'm saying? In the run game. He talked to me. He said, if you want to be a 4-down guy, a guy that doesn't only play third down, you need to take the run way more serious. And I thought to myself, you know what? I want to do that because I want to play more. The way to get more sacks is like, you know what I'm saying, being on the field more. I'm coming in on third down only where it's only pass. Imagine on first and second down where they might get a little pass out there and I catch a key. So I can get even more sacks. So, just coming into that year, I like, I'm people take it as cocky. I take it as confidence. I told myself, I'm an elite pass rusher. I don't care what no one say. Someone's not going to block me a whole game. I'm going to get there eventually. I said to myself, if I can double down on the run game, I'll be one of the best players in my conference, one of the guys coming into the draft. Because the thing was, I feel like me in the boxes that I checked this year, can I play in coverage? I've done it. I've played middle linebacker in our scheme. I played outside linebacker, dropping in curl flats. I've had one ball caught on me in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So I could play coverage. I want to run to the ball more, make my motor better, playing with guys like Derek Parrish. I did that. And then number one on my list was play the run game. I think I was first or second on my team in TFLs. I think I had 13. I think 13.
Yeah, it was close to 13. I think it might have been like 12 and a half, 13, somewhere around that.
Yeah.
Early sort of teens area for sure.
Yeah. And so, I just doubled down on it. People tend to think because I'm short, I can't play the run. If you go watch, I stone offensive linemen, 6'5", 6 foot ones. It don't matter. They can't move me. I'm a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? And then, once I hold my edge, it would be smart for them not to come to me. But if they do, I'm there. And then, I hate when teams try like this play. I have multiple hits just like this, where teams like to leave me alone. I know what's coming. Like I'm saying, Coach Early, we've studied this. If you leave me alone 9 times out of 10, I'm going to come and hit the running back, you know what I'm saying, or whoever has the ball. And then what I've learned too, even if I can't make the play, I'm going to go smash me a puller. If I hit the puller, play the backfield, my guys make a play too. That's a win in the run game as well. So, shout out to Coach Early for always helping with that. But yeah, just all around number one, just had to get right in that run game.
I do want to show this angle because I think it really shows you just blowing this entire play up. Again, I mean, they just leave you, and it's, I think it's really funny. It's like this part right here where it's just no one around you except for, the tackle, and he's, trying to move to the second level, and you're just, yeah. I remember watching this play live because this was one of my favorite games from this year, because I think it was just nonstop action from both sides, and from an offensive and a defensive perspective. And this play, I remember watching it, and I texted one of my friends. I went, Anthony Jones is an animal, dude. And it was one of my favorite plays of the year, and I do want to go to this next play because I do want to talk about pass rush. Shockingly, that's what you're known for, and that's sort of one of my favorite parts of defensive play is pass rush. So let's hop into this next play, and it's against Rice from this year. And you talked about the relationship that you have with Derek Parrish, and when we watch this play, I think this sort of shows that even if you're not getting the credit for the big play, it's still you setting up the play. And before we begin, do you remember anything from this play?
Oh, I remember it exactly. I know exactly what play. Do you want me to explain it, or are you gonna break it down?
Let's watch it through, and then you know what? I'll just let you explain it because you were the one playing, and I
Yeah,
was not. So let's watch it through. You're at the bottom of the screen, and I do want to mention that Nelson Caesar was at, I believe, the top of the screen. I think he was the other edge
yeah.
rusher next
No,
to you.
Caesar is on the left guard next to me.
Yes. Sorry. He was next to you, and I'll say it right now. The result was a touchdown for the Houston defense. So let's watch it through one time, and then you know what? I'll just let you explain it. Floor's yours, D'Anthony.
Yeah. So it's funny. So right before this play, I got a strip sack as well. You know what I'm saying? It was a hard fought game. You know what I'm saying? Rice came out there and they put up a fight with us. I'll admit it. I was one of those guys that didn't think they were going to be in the game with us, but it ended up being one. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, that game, that happening and me getting those back-to-back sacks came from my guy Derek Parrish getting hurt 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. If it wasn't me, Derek Parrish would have probably ended the game in a similar fashion, just like that, or probably earlier on in the game at that point. But you know what I'm saying? This play is 3rd and 17. You know what I'm saying? We're in one of our calls. We call it Okie Spy. You know what I'm saying? And our guy is Caesar. Nobody's gonna outrun Caesar. You know what I'm saying? So our job is to speed off the edge and make him step up to Caesar. You know what I'm saying? So me, I caught a key. People like, oh, you be guessing the snap count. No, I know. I can look at the quarterback and, certain hand motions and a certain way tackles look. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the first person off the ball. And like I said, if I beat you, like, to the spot, I didn't want half the battle. You know what I'm saying? So, I get there, corner the guy. And me, like, you know what I'm saying? I always talk about it on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I am the best, like, player in this draft when it comes to getting the ball. No one gets the ball better than me. No one in the country does it better than me. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I take pride on. When we do that drill, I really want to go 150% on it just for reasons like this. You know what I'm saying? Most guys that get the sack, oh, maybe they get a punt off. Nah, I want the ball. You know what I'm saying? I seen the guy getting ready to gear up. The guy had my right arm. I said, F it, I'm going to slap it with my left hand. God willing, slapped it out. You know what I'm saying? Caesar there, touchdown. You know what I'm saying? It's just everything really played out perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's just on for sure pass downs, man. I like me over a lot of people, even some of these top guys in the NFL draft. You know what I'm saying? What a lot of people don't know as well, if you look at my film, I have a lot of plays exactly like this, what I mean by that is clutch. Like when my team needs me, I'm there. Game winning sacks, game winning strip sacks, forced fumbles, I'm there every time. You can look back even to my year before that. Whenever we need a big turnover and somebody needs it, I guarantee you everyone will start calling my name and I'll deliver.
Is there sort of a switch that flicks in your mind when late fourth quarter, it's a tied game? Is there sort of a switch? It's like, you know what, I'm going to be the one to make the play. I ain't going to let anyone else make this play. It's going to be me, and I'm going to be the reason why we end up winning this game.
100%. Because you know what I'm saying? At the same time, if I don't do it, I'm going to think to myself, damn, I could have made a play. I could have won us that game. So I have that thought, you know what I'm saying? That's exactly what I think, you know what I'm saying? Game on the line. I don't care when it is, what's the score? I'm going to make a big play to help put my team in the best possible position to win. You know what I'm saying?
And you do mention the get up the get off, that first step, you are explosive. I mean, I don't think there's any other way to explain it because, on this play, you are past the offensive tackle before you can even really react. And, even
Yeah.
still, he tries to sort of push you off and, sort of affect your path to the quarterback. What do you think it says about your play strength and your strength overall that even when guys are sort of trying to push you off, and I think we see it so much with smaller defensive ends and edge rushers where they sort of get pushed off and they sort of don't get to affect this play, I think, the way that they probably wanted to, or the way that it looked like they'd be able to. And still, even when they're trying to push you off, you barely even move. Is that just sort of playing at such a big size and having that functional strength with it?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. That's why I play between that 265 and 270 all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in junior college, those guys, they would push me off there, give me a push in the shoulder, stuff like that. But that 270, I'm moving so fast and I'm so heavy, you can't, unless you pull me down, no flack at this guy, but I'm pretty sure you've seen the sack against Tyler Smith. It was the same thing. Dude literally jumped on my back and dragged me down, and I still got a sack though. That's when I was 295 though. But it's just, what I'm saying, I feel like I'm really a really unique player. You know what I'm saying? I don't think like if the guy is too heavy, he doesn't beat him around the edge like that. You know what I'm saying? If he's too light, he beats him around the edge, but the tackle just gives him a push and the quarterback steps up. But I'm the best of both worlds. So you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm really unique when it comes to that.
And you mentioned, sort of trying to affect the throwing motion in any way possible. Is that, when do you sort of see the ball in these situations? Is it right as you're about to get to the quarterback, or do you sort of know that, once you get by and you can sort of figure out, since you've played for so long, you can sort of figure out when guys are going to start to try to throw the football, and you can sort of try and get your hand up and try and make a play there?
Um, it kind of depends, you know what I'm saying? It depends really on the down and distance for me too. If it's really like this third and long right here, I thought to myself, I said, I'm going for the ball. I don't want the sack. You know what I'm saying? Because regular sack, it ain't gonna do nothing, gonna punt the ball. I don't know if our offense is gonna score or not. I wanted the ball. So, coming around the edge, you know what I'm saying? My main thing is if I could get to the set point and just slap it out of their hand before they get in their throwing motion, that's what I want to do. Von Miller has a play where he snatches the ball from people. That's on my bucket list of what I want to do. That's what I'm trying to do. But I ain't as fast as him, probably not even close. So, snatch balls, I gotta hit them because I ain't fast enough to just grab them. But right there, you know what I'm saying? Like in my head, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna get to him and snatch it from him. But his throwing motion came out. Guys like I love playing in the NFL because these guys are long. You know what I'm saying? A little longer wind up. You know what I'm saying? That'll help me even more. If I hit your wrist at the right point or hit that ball at the right point, it's a forced fumble. You know what I'm saying? And just it like I said, it just depends, you know what I'm saying? But one thing, like I said, I'm always going for the ball. Always got to. I feel
And
like if
go
it's
ahead.
messed me, it's a couple sacks, literally by trying to be greedy and just get the ball. So I need to tone it down a bit. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah.
I do want to now go back to 2021 because this is when you sort of, I think, first caught on to the scene and people really started talking about your name. And, I think that's when you sort of got a little bit of that underrated NFL hype. People knew that you were going to be a guy if you kept developing. And so I want to go to a game against UConn, in 2021. And this play was another third and long. And, this one is, I love it. And, we'll just watch it and then I'll let you explain it. I do want to ask you a few questions about it, but you,
But yeah.
I love this play because you punish both the offensive tackle and the running back at the same time. Was that something sort of you noticed that you did on this play, or was that something that you sort of looked back on at film and went, "Damn, I really did mess both of them up"?
I didn't know I dirtied both of them like that until I got in the film. Coach Early was like, "Damn, D, I don't think I've ever seen one of my D linemen do that." Like he didn't see an old lineman get put, but I tossed them all into the running back too. That was the funny part about it. But nah, I didn't really know how crazy it was. If you see my I didn't celebrate after. I was like, you know what I'm saying? This game is cold as hell. These guys we're whooping them. I said, man, let me get to the sideline. I'm cold. Man, in my head, I was like, damn, I was like, I felt like I just murdered somebody, but I was like, it's cold. Let me highlight, you know what I'm saying?
It is very interesting because even though you are a little bit undersized for, I think, the edge rusher position, you're listed at 6'2", and I think we all see the big edge rushers who are 6'4" and 6'5", and they're incredibly long armed, and they look more like NBA basketball players than football players, but you still have relatively long arms, and that sort of helps you on this play because I think it sort of help you get that leverage, and do you sort of feel like even though you are a little bit undersized, you still have the functional arm length to play at such a high level and sort of help impact the play?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I've that I got into 2022, you'll see it a little bit on film if you watch me throughout the year, is my long arm. You know, so Coach Early told me that. He said, I mean, you don't have super long arms like guys like Nelson Caesar or Payton or Logan, but like he was like, dude, your arms are above average. You know what I'm saying? You can stick that hand in there and get a guy off balance. You know what I'm saying? The shorter guys usually have really stubby arms, but like you said, I think I do have pretty decently long arms. And yeah, it's just, that was a point of my game. This was me using it a little bit, and this at the end of the season of 2021. In 2022, I feel like my pass rushing went up some as well, just from adding things like a stab single. You know what I'm saying? Thought to myself, all right, if the speed don't work, what's gonna happen? If the power doesn't work, what happens? Okay, let me stab them now. Let me get into their chest. Let me stab single them. Let me, arm over them. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, I can. That's the thing that I feel like a lot of people don't know as well. I'm sorry, I keep saying that. Just, I can do everything. You know what I'm saying? From the hand standpoint, I've gotten better. I'm not a short arm guy that can only just speed rush or just power rush. I can get my hands into offensive tackles' chest. And I feel like it helps me more because I'm so short and compact, you can't grab me. You know what I'm saying? Over the years, the thing that O-linemen done to me, and I feel like they need to call it a little more, is they hit me in my face. I'm so low, and I'm so low to the ground, you can't punch anything. If you punch me in my chest, you're going to have to get really low. And if you do, I really just might, speed rush pie you if you're trying to bend down that low, because these guys are really extremely long and tall, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just that's something I really want to work on. And it showed up literally at the end of the season. I think
You
Coach Early told me to long arm the guy. I think that's why I did it.
you mentioned developing those sort of skills, and that is something I've never gotten to experience. That look, I never actually played football at a high level. I was a flag football state champion though. My one throw was an interception, but we don't need to talk about that. So when you're playing at and trying to develop these pass rush moves, how does that sort of happen? Is it just sort of through practice and trying different things? And when you get in the game, is it just sort of, what, I got to try to see how it works and how I can sort of better that as we develop throughout the season?
Yeah, so it all starts in practice, you know what I'm saying? Coach Early told us, you know what I'm saying? If like, and I really understood it. If we lost the game, it's because we weren't going 100% in practice that week. If you do everything that you need to do in practice, it'll translate to the game. The game is the easy part. Practice is the hard part. That's how I think about it. So, going into a week, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think this week, you know what I'm saying? Coach Early was like, you know what, DA? Last game before the bowl game, he was like, you're a pass rush, you're good. And this is a true story. The man looked me in my face and he said, you're going to be a one-trick pony. And in my head, I thought I could get mad about this. I said, you know what? You're right, because I'm going to run into a guy who's going to shut down my speed rush, who's going to shut down my power. I said, you know what? I need to do something different. So all week long, I was asking David Anini and Elias Bell, guys who are really good with their hands and whatnot. I said, you know what? What can I do? They was like, you know what, DA? If you get into somebody's chest, just put it right in the middle of their chest and pull it out, or just run them over with it. Because they were, David had really long arms. Mine weren't as long as his, but just like I said, going to practice and just trying it on guys like Patrick Paul and stuff, had a little bit of success. And I was like, you know what? I was like, it's third and long. It's going to be a deep pass. I said, you know what? I'm going to try something new. And shit, it worked.
And this sort of piggybacks into something that is so unique to a lot of pass rushers, and it's their pass rush plan. It's how they approach certain situations, and how much does that help sort of develop your pass rush plan, and knowing that you are now no longer that one trick pony of you're just a speed guy, and if you match up against some of these smaller, more agile tackles who are able to get to their spots, they're just going to beat you off, and you're not going to make the play that you want to make. So how much has your pass rush plan, do you feel, developed from JUCO and early Houston years now to 2022 and even 2023, to help sort of develop your game fully?
It's helped a whole bunch. Like I said, a testament to Coach Brian Early as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, going throughout the game, beginning years was just speed, speed, speed. As I've gotten better, he said, yeah, over a game, it's like a boxing match. I got to throw some, come back at some, throw some, don't throw it again, don't throw the right, now throw the left. You know what I'm saying? So, me, it started off with speed, speed, speed. Then it's like, okay, speed, 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 speed to power. Now let me start off with power and go back to speed. Now let me go to power, pull it right back out. You know what I'm saying? And it's just been great learning over the years, because it's like I said, it's like a boxing match, and I don't think guys can go with me toe to toe, because guys get to getting scared and trying to jump out of their stance. You know what I'm saying? And if you mess up, Another one that I got into my bag is the inside single, cross chop, go inside. You know what I'm saying? I might arm over you. Because if you turn too fast, I will put stick a foot in the ground and have a straight beeline to the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Coach Early gives us a license to do it, but he said if you lose contain, that's your ASS. So I didn't really do it too much. You know what I'm saying? And collegiate level, there's a bunch of fast guys, you know what I'm saying? So if we played against, more compact quarterbacks that don't really move, pocket passers, I feel like I would have had a lot more sacks as well too. We just played against really good running quarterbacks. But just like I said, man, just you always got to have a rush plan. Obviously, first off, it's like I'll go into it. It's me starting with the get off. Like you said, is this a smaller guy who's really agile and can get out there with me? I'm gonna test the theory. I'm gonna see first couple rushes. I'm gonna just see what I can beat you with my A rush. If I beat you with A and you can't stop it, I'm at your neck all game long. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you stop the speed. You getting out there. All right, let me go speed to power now. You know what I'm saying? Okay, power. Okay, he can sit back a little bit. All right, let me go speed to power, back to speed. I'll get off the ball, try and bull rush him. If he sit, I'll snatch him right back to the ground and go over him. So like I'm saying, it's a bull rush. And then I start looking at feet like, oh, is he jumpy? Is he trying to jump my set? Okay, you gonna jump, inside move. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a boxing match, and it's just been fun just to become better. Like I said, it's just Coach Brian Early is such a blessing to me. I don't think no one in the country could have developed me the way, that he did. It's funny. People be like, saying, dang, DA, it's like Coach Early knew what I was. Like a lot of people didn't want me as a passer. He knew what I could be. And I appreciate him and love him so much for that.
I want to piggyback off something you said in there, and it's the fact that particularly in the American, but across college football, everyone is so fast, and quarterbacks have become, second people in the run game, and that now they have to account. Now now you have to contain the edge on every single play, knowing that the quarterback can break, contain, and make big time plays. Was there a quarterback throughout your time at Houston that do you feel sort of gave you fits, even if you guys ended up winning the game or anything? But was there a quarterback where you feel like was just a battle all game because of how fast or how athletic he was, or just something he did that sort of made it more challenging?
1000%. The second one is the guy, but I'm gonna go with this first guy real quick. The first one was 2021 USF. I think it's Timmy McClan or something like that.
Yes.
The
Now at UCF, I believe, but yeah, USF.
Oh my God. People thought we had a bad game statistically because we didn't have no sacks. Coach Early came in and was like, no, we had pressures, everything. We just couldn't get them down. And that goes to my number one pick. Oh my God. Free UTSA, Frank Harris. When I tell you I should have had 5 or 6 sacks that game, it's not even funny. No disrespect to their O-line, they're a pretty good O-line, but he made that O-line look really great. And not even just me. I think that game, me and Nelson Caesar had 9 pressures, and Derek had like 6 or 7. Like when I tell you, I was screaming at this man, and there's nothing I could do to get him down, hands down. And I don't really, give too many guys props, what I'm saying, because they get full of stuff. Frank Harris is probably the best quarterback I've ever played in my life. And I told him that after the game, what I'm saying? I added him on Twitter. I said, you know what, dude, like you a dog. Like out of all my collegiate years, you're the best quarterback I've ever played. And I've played a Zach Wilson, what I'm saying? Like guys like that, number 2 overall pick. I think Frank Harris was the most elite quarterback I've ever played. Just there was nothing I could do. Like I'm draped on him, trying to pull him down. He's still throwing a bomb. Don't care. Not worried about, man. Then stiff armed me, all type of stuff. It's crazy how good that dude is. I feel like if he was 6'4", he'd be a lot first round pick. But it's same thing, probably just his height. You know what I'm saying? But hey, let him sleep. That man. I think they went 12-2 that year again. So
Yeah, they made it to a bowl game. I don't remember if they won the bowl game. I'll be honest. I don't think they did. It was against Troy this year, but Troy's defense was one of the better ones in the nation. But yeah, I mean, he is I think one of the better quarterbacks in the country who people don't talk about. And how much does it help knowing that every day in practice you were going against a guy like Clayton Tune, who is in his own right going to likely be an NFL draft prospect, and was at the Senior Bowl, and you had to play against him every single day in practice.
yeah, it was great. You know what I'm saying? Tune doesn't really talk too much. He's just a lunch bell guy, bring it and work. I try and get his ear and talk crap to him every day, but he be like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we can't touch him, but I think Tune moves really well around the pocket, and a lot of people don't. He can run. he will take off. He's not no statue quarterback, but obviously he's a great thrower. But like, just pocket wise, between Frank Harris and him, I think Tune is pretty close because there's been times where we, we want to smash the offense. You know what I'm saying? They want to smash us. It's friendly competition, and I'm really trying to get to Tune, but he just moves. He just glides around the pocket so great, man. You know what I'm saying? Poised, don't let nothing bother him. And I'm talking. Sometimes I'll be screaming. I'm like, dang, would he like have completed that pass? He's talking about some out the corner of my eye. That's why I stepped up. Like I'm like, what, dude? Like, but nah, he's whoever's getting him is getting such a great dude, leader, what I'm saying, on and off the field, and just a great dude all around.
You mentioned, and the Frank Harrison with Clayton Tune as well. When you're playing guys who, make plays like that where they're stiff arming you or they know where you are and it seems like it's second nature for them, is that sort of a moment where you just got to toss it up to the game? Like, you know what, I'm doing everything I can to get to him and affect the play. But, sometimes guys are just going to be really dang good because, it is still, I think the term that I like to use and a lot of other people like to use is offense gets paid, defense gets paid. And, it's whoever steps up and makes a play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we are in D1. They are on scholarship just like me, you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of both. Like, yeah, I'll be sitting there like, dang, I can't get them. But at the same time, I'll be like, it's going to be so great when I finally do get to you, elevate my game so much when I play like elite players. You know what I'm saying? Like the Tyler Smith game was one of my better games. BYU 2020, I was trying to kill Brady Christensen. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get a sack, but Zach Wilson was running for his life when I was in there. I made Brady Christensen jump off sides a lot. I made the other tackle jump off sides a lot. You know what I'm saying? I love to elevate my game. My better games is when the game is on the line and when there's a so-called the best of the best or an elite player on the opposite side of me. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing coming into this year, when I saw guys who were NFL guys, it's like, if you're the guy, like I'll use it with Tyler Smith. No disrespect to him, he's a great player, really good, like really great player. When I was going against him, I was like, oh, he beating up Ohio State. But I was like, he's in the first round conversation. I said, if I beat up on him, my name will pop on the radar. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I go into it. You know what I'm saying? Same with Brady Christensen, same with Frank Harris. If I dog you, that'll give me a better chance of getting to where I want to be in life. So, yeah.
I want to go to the last play here, and I think we'll all remember this play because 2021, I want to know if I just say the team and the opponent, or, the opponent and the year, if you'll remember the play. 2021 Tulane.
I said it before you even said
It's just quite literally an insane play. You know what? I'm just gonna let it run and then we'll talk about it because this plays all over Twitter. This is the play when you search up your name on Twitter. This is the play that shows up every single time without fail. I think it got shared way too many times after it happened. And it's just like about the only thing that when you search up your name on Twitter and you go to videos, it's like the only play that shows up for the first like 5 or 6 ones. So I'm just going to let it run. And then again, just one of my favorite plays from, I think your 2021, I'm sure it was one of your favorite ones as well after watching it happen and, knowing what happened on the play.
God.
I gotta ask, did you know you had the touchdown if you picked up the ball and ran with it?
I didn't know, man. I still get flack for that to this day from my teammates, man. But that's for me being 295. I will never be that weight again, ever in life while playing football. But man, dang, it was a big play though in the moment we needed it. But man, people could talk crap and whatnot. But imagine if, what I'm saying, I would have hit the ball out the guy's hand and he picked it back up, 3rd and long, they go score, get a first down or a touchdown. So, I just played it safe. Plus, my little fat butt was out of shape. So, being at 295 on the edge. But man, yeah, like I said, this play, it was 2nd and 9. This pistol formation, I love pistol formations because if I'm on like a free side, what I'm saying, without the tight end or something like that, and I know I'm going to be on block, like I have fun because I can just go be me. I don't like being touched, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's better for me. So, going into this play, we went through it throughout the week, you know what I'm saying? We knew their tight ends weren't no ASS kickers, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if he is anyway, too, because tight ends don't block me. That's soft as a DN. You don't get blocked by tight ends, and I adapted that from early as well. I was like, he knew that they had play action. They like to get this guy Pratt on the run, and he was like, look, Da, you can tell if a tight end is coming to kick you out and he wants to like smoke. He's not gonna like cat footed. I ain't gonna say the actual word, like soft footed over there to you, and so you should know when it's a boot. So this play, what I'm saying, I had no tight end, so we call it low gear. Had to stay, look, read it, and then react. So high gear, what I'm saying, and I seen him coming back across. He didn't look like he wanted to hit me. So right there, I instantly knew, okay, this is a play action. Let me get upfield. And like I said, ball. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm trying to hit the ball out any way I can. Got the ball out, you know what I'm saying? And as I'm running there to the ball, you can rewind it a little bit. In my personal opinion, I think I started falling before I got to the ball. So if I like I said, I tried to play it safe. I was falling before I even got to the ball. If I would have tried to pick it up and run, I probably would have missed. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, that was a fun play. You could see my reaction. I was just like, no way. I just got the ball and didn't go score. My teammates, they gave me so much. I was looking at my coach's reaction. They were happy, but was like, no, why didn't you score? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Either way, I feel like that was a big play in the game. You know what I'm saying? I did what I need to do in a clutch moment. So F the haters. I'll say that.
I imagine film room after the game was not your brightest moment in terms of coach, coach early and everyone, maybe giving you a little bit too much crap for not scoring.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
that was me, man. The first thing in the so we have like our position meeting and then the whole defense meeting. First play up. Come on, okay. This is why you need to lose the weight. This is why you need to stop doing this and that and stuff. So yeah.
do you sort of look back at this play and go, man, this could have been a really big moment for me in terms of putting a play on highlights of me scoring a touchdown at 295 pounds and being able to go, I scored a 200, 295. Imagine what I'm doing at 270.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, look, so in every like time I played football, this is the only year. So I've always gotten a sack, tackle, you know what I'm saying? This is the first time in my life I've never gotten a defensive touchdown and I haven't got an interception. Obviously, I didn't drop as much because I wasn't at linebacker, but you know what I'm saying, Pop Warner, high school, junior college, I've always gotten a pick six or a scoop and score. Didn't do it this year. So, those are the one things, that the two things I didn't get to cross off my bucket list for the D1 level. But, it's all good. Hopefully I get a long career in the NFL and I'm going to get them there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just make up for it.
I going to the NFL real quick. Is there a quarterback that you go, man, I can't wait to play against this guy potentially? And, even if it's, in a preseason game or something, being able to play against this quarterback, is there a quarterback that sort of is that guy for you?
Man, it was Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying? He a California kid. I'm a California kid on a different video. I'll probably get some flack for it when I get drafted. I said I wanted to be the guy that took Tom Brady out the game, you know what I'm saying? But not in a bad way. I didn't mean it in the literal sense. But, but just be that guy, you know what I'm saying? It was Tom Brady, but honestly, man, probably Pat Mahomes or A-Rod, you know what I'm saying? Those are guys, you know what I'm saying, that are really the elite of the elite for their position. And just to bring, I got beat to it. I think who did Logan? I think Logan sacked Aaron Rodgers, didn't he? Yeah,
I
he did.
I think it was Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
But yeah, so I know that he told us that was a crazy feel. Like, man, I just sacked Aaron Rodgers, and he's a California kid too. You know what I'm saying? So just probably one of those two, you know what I'm saying? It'll be a great feeling. That's a picture or video that's gonna be in my house for the rest of my life. Like, I'm done. I'm like, hey, I sacked them. You know what I'm saying? So
is there a position that you feel that you're most comfortable at heading into the next level of, like, in a perfect world, you were the defensive coordinator, you also were playing in this position. Do you feel like there's a technique or a position where you feel like you would be most effective? Obviously you are a little bit more versatile, being able to stand up and also playing with your hand in the dirt, but is there a position that you feel like you would thrive in the most?
probably not an off the ball outside linebacker, but like a stand up edge outside
Yeah.
linebacker. that does both, like a Matthew Judon, like I said, Hassan Reddick, you know what I'm saying? Those guys could do, like, they get the best of both worlds. They could rush, play the run, and drop, you know what I'm saying? And I plan on losing a little bit more weight out because I want to move even better. You know, so I'm trying to get down to like the 255, 260 range when I was in junior college. You know, if a team wants me to stay at the 270 weight just so I could beat up on guys, that's cool. But I want to be, one of those guys that can move extremely well. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say my 10, but like some of these first round draft picks and D line, I'm running the same tens as them right now, and I'm not even 260, 255 yet. So you know what I'm saying? I could keep up with the speed of them guys once I get this weight down. And just feel like outside linebacker is perfect. You know, you can rush me, you could drop me, play me in a run, you know what I'm saying? I could play man on the back, you know what I'm saying? Just I feel like it would be the perfect fit for me. Just a 3-4 outside linebacker is kind of what I'm thinking. You know, I can play in the 4-2-5 though. You know, that's what our defense was. I was a DN, I just stood up. That's how I have to really think about it. But 3-4 outside linebacker, I think that's perfect for me because you technically I'm I'm a defensive end, but shoot, I'm sort of like a little bit under a defensive tackle, you know what I'm saying, on the edge, but that could pass rush and play the run. So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that would be perfect for me.
You mentioned the pass coverage, and you didn't get to do it a lot at Houston because I think probably a mixture of you were being so effective rushing the passer that feels sort of counterintuitive to drop you into coverage as much. And you had, as I think we've talked about a few times, you were playing at close to 290, 295 at times. So how much do you remember from, and as a linebacker, an off ball, edge rusher, 3-4 outside linebacker, how do you sort of embrace that dropping into coverage? Is that sort of something that comes almost as like second nature to you? Because as you mentioned, you had been playing in a couple different positions, and even in junior college, you had played, in a different role to Houston, or is that something that you've just sort of put your mind to of like, I need to be able to not just be a pass rusher, not just be a guy who lives in the backfield, but also a guy who, if needed, I can drop into coverage?
Both, you know what I'm saying? It is the that like you saying I need that, but at the same time, I feel like it's second nature to me. You know what I'm saying? I played off the ball linebacker coming up until the University of Houston. I played Mike Will. Believe this or not, you know what I'm saying? If our safety, I was like our backup safety too. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll show you film after this, you know what I'm saying? I'll show you some film to get scholarships, what I was doing, and also when I was 255, 250, I would go guard our wide receivers and go play free safety and guard them man to man, press, like be in the back pedal, like in the 7-on-7. I played safety and linebacker. I really seen the film after this. And it just it's not too much for me. You know what I'm saying? People make it seem like zone is just too hard for D line, but I have the background, if I'm in a curl flat, I know, what I'm saying, if it's a down and distance, do you want me to go play the sticks and rally down, give up the flat and rally to it? Or do you want me to come down to the flat, you know what I'm saying, and leave the sticks, and try and get back to it if I could catch it. You know what I'm saying? Hook zones, I'm good with that too. If it's something in front of me like a drag, I know it's a post or a fucking sorry. I know it's a
You're good. You're good.
I know it's a freaking dig coming behind me. You know what I'm saying? And then, I remember one week, I think it was Tulane. They put in a package and my guys were laughing at me like, what? And Belk was like, yeah. There was plays where I was supposed to guard the tight end man to man. I blew it once. I ain't gonna lie. I messed up. And it was the running back though. They switched it to the running back. He took off, but he was like, "Yeah, DA can cover a tight end. Like if they're not like George Kittle or Travis Kelce, he can definitely cover a tight end." You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's second nature to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'll do it because obviously you got to throw curveballs in there, man. I've seen guys like Chandler Jones drop who usually don't drop. Max Crosby. You know what I'm saying? They look a little uncomfortable, but you got to do it. That's how the defenses work nowadays, and I just want to be a guy that show that I can do everything. You know what I'm saying? I want to be on the field first through third down. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I've got just two more questions for you. Dating back to your time at junior college, and I think we've seen so much of junior college now with Last Chance U, and not only in Colorado, or California, excuse me, but also in Kansas. And for you, what was that experience like? What was that recruitment experience like? And what did that sort of teach you? And what did you take from it as you headed down to Houston?
Just to never give up, man. I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but my life, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't really the perfect life how you think it would be. I grew up in foster care, you know what I'm saying? Things happen. I love my mother to death, but she wasn't ready to take care of me and my other three siblings at the time. Left the crib around 11, 12, didn't get out until I was 17, been foster homes, group homes, things like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I knew I had to go junior college because I was switching from so many high schools, and I never got to play football because it's called AWOL if you try and leave and go play football. You have to be under 24-hour supervision. So going JUCO, you know, it was just a blessing for me to finally football and realize, dang man, DA, you fought through all that, you got back to it, and I love, you know, my girlfriend, soon to be wife, and my son, and just, you know, I met them there, you know, building a relationship with my brothers from JUCO as well. Just, you know, and if I could tell anybody anything, it's just never give up. You know what I'm saying? Looking back on my life, I'm not supposed to be here. Like everything that I went through, like people would probably fold if they were in my shoes, you know what I'm saying? And I just kept being persistent and you know, I made it, you know what I'm saying? And I took that attitude with me to D1. Coach earlier tell you he kind of doesn't like it, but he loves it because it makes me a dog on the field. I want to be the best and like do the best things wherever I go. You know, stepping into, you know, a room with Peyton Turner and Logan and Derek, you won't believe this. I looked all these guys in the face and I said, I'm going to be the pass rusher here. Like, I'm going to lead us in sacks. I'm going to lead this conference in sacks. And I did do it. You know what I'm saying? They kind of learned to ignore me. You know what I'm saying? They kind of thought it was not, you know, just coming from Drew. I just, anything, like, no matter what I've gone through, I knew if I'm putting my mind to something, I'm going to do it. There is no plan B for me. Like, everything that I'm doing right now, been my one plan. And I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? There's never been a plan B for me.
And I do want to end it on a little bit of a lighter note. You know, I saw this question on TikTok, and yes, I do go on TikTok, but you know, would you I believe the question was, I'll make sure I frame it right, but would you rather fight a chicken every time you got into the car, or would you have to fight a lion
Was it a
once
week?
a year?
Oh, it was the chicken every day, right?
Yeah, it was the chicken every day you got in the car, I believe, and then or the lion once a year.
I'm like, can I ask my girlfriend? Hold on. Look, so, okay, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm taking a chicken.
I
I'm
am
taking.
too. I am too.
People talk about a lion. You can't take on a lion like that. A lion is too. I might let Prince handle the chicken every day just to see if he can scrap with the chickens. But you know, man, that's free food too. You know what I'm saying? I get the chicken. I might get some free eggs. I might cook them. You know what I'm saying? A little peck won't hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Even a couple of them, I can handle them. But a lion, yeah, no way. I'm cool.
Yeah, I think even if you had like weapons, I don't even know if I could take a lion with like a sword or anything, because it's like the lion is still faster than I probably am, and it's still bigger, and it's going for blood,
Hey,
as opposed to the chicken that's shorter, and you know it's going to peck me obviously, and it's going to probably hurt, but it's
yeah,
not going to be the same sort of combo.
yeah, that 1,000%. If a lion takes my weapon, I'm defenseless, and I can't outrun a lion. So, yeah,
That might be the only thing you can outrun.
yeah, exactly.
You know, D'Anthony, man, appreciate it a bunch. Good luck in the rest of the draft process for you.
Got it. Thank you. Appreciate you for having me.